アニゲーミング紅葉楽しい冒険スタートだ
Welcome everyone to otakusandgeeks.com. Justin here, back with more Any Gaming, my friends. This is episode 13, as I alluded to in Superhero Gaming episode 12. Today we are going to be talking about Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo, which was released for the Nintendo Wii in 2009, and the game follows the iconic rivalry between Goku and King Piccolo, which is a pivotal moment in the Dragon Ball universe. So, as always, we're going to be talking about key elements such as story, gameplay, graphics, and sound. So, without further ado, let's talk a little bit about that story, shall we? So, the game's narrative is based on the Dragon Ball anime and manga, focusing on the original Dragon Ball saga, where King Piccolo is revived and begins his evil quest to conquer Earth. Players control Goku as he battles through a series of stages to defeat King Piccolo and his minions. The story is faithful to the source material, offering familiar characters like Goku, Krillin, and Master Roshi with major story beats like the Pilaf Gang, the first tournament arc, the Red Ribbon Army saga, and Goku's struggles against King Piccolo. While the plot sticks to the basics, the game doesn't dwell deeply into the character development or much beyond the main battles, which might leave hardcore fans wanting a little bit more, but still, for those familiar with the anime, the game does a decent job of adapting the early Dragon Ball series into an interactive format. And what I like about this is about this game, why I love this game so much, especially when it came out for the Wii, is what we rarely get adaptations besides just Dragon Ball Z when it comes to Dragon Ball Z games. Yes, I know we get a lot of characters that go into those fighting games, but as far as like a story based game, it's rare that we actually see the original series get love. I actually still would love to see a GT game or a Dragon Ball game that focuses on all the sagas from Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and yes, even Super in some of the movies. I would love to have like that ultimate Dragon Ball Z game. But from the story standpoint, it does what it's supposed to do. It hits those main story beats. Yes, it's lacking in character development, but if you are a Dragon Ball fan, you already know Goku's story as a kid. So it's nothing gonna be new under the sun. But if you're not familiar with it, it still does a serviceable job for you to understand where this is headed. So let's talk a little bit about the gameplay. In terms of gameplay, Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo combines beat 'em up mechanics with traditional action adventure gameplay. Goku moves through various levels, defeating waves of enemies while progressing through the stages. The controls are relatively simple, utilizing the Wiimote or Wii Pad, or you can still even use your GameCube controller for movement. Basic attacks and special moves. Players can string together combos and use your Kai Blast to do like a Kamehameha Blast attack to take down your foes. The game also has an emphasis on boss battles, with King Piccolo serving as the primary antagonist. These boss battles are designed to be a challenge, often requiring players to learn attack patterns and their time and time their movements precisely to defeat the enemies. I will say something about this when it comes to the boss battles though. It would have been better, especially since they have a multiplayer mode or tournament mode where you can face the computer or you can face your friends. It would have been better if they actually incorporated elements from Budokai 3 or one of the Budokai games to actually have that actual battle feel more like a Dragon Ball game, because when it comes to those boss battles, it really is just like I said, learning their patterns and just attacking from that. They approach the boss battles like a beat 'em up instead of like a Dragon Ball game, if that would make sense to you. But the interesting aspect of it is the ability to level up Goku, unlocking new abilities and moves as the game progresses. There's some mini games, some collectibles scattered throughout the stages, which encourage exploration, but the game does become a little bit repetitive. And like I said, the battles when it comes to fighting King Piccolo or the tournaments leave less to be desired due to it not really incorporating those fight mechanics from Dragon Ball games and approaching it more from a beat 'em up standpoint. So let's talk a little bit about the graphics, because graphically, Dragon Ball Revenge of King Piccolo doesn't fully showcase the power of the Wii hardware, but it does capture that classic 2D art style of the early Dragon Ball series very, very well. The character models are shell shaded, just like a lot of anime games back in the days, and it's offering this cartoonish look that is faithful to the source material. The game's environments are very colorful and it has a nice variety to them, but they do feel somewhat static and lack a sense of depth. But for the time of 2009, these were really impressive graphics, especially the limitations of the Wii's processing power. However, in comparison to more modern day Dragon Ball games, the visuals might come off as a little bit dated. The animation, though, simple and effective, and it's really quite fluent during the fights. Special moves like Goku's Kameyame and are well animated and provide satisfying visuals for feedback for players. I like the graphics personally. I thought the graphics did a really good job, and I thought the graphics really captured the spirit of Dragon Ball. You rarely see a Dragon Ball game with terrible graphics, to be honest with you. So let's talk a little bit about the sound because the sound design in Dragon Ball Revenge of the King Piccolo is pretty cool. The game features a soundtrack that fits the tone of the show with upbeat and energetic music during combat and tense themes for boss fights. While the music helps maintain the high energy atmosphere, it it just doesn't feel the same without those original theme musics that we all know from the Dragon Ball series. And good thing as always, we of course have the English voice actors, Japanese voice actors. They all return to give us that feel and that authenticity that we love from our Dragon Ball games. So to wrap this up, Revenge of King Piccolo offers a fun and relatively faithful experience for fans of the early Dragon Ball saga, especially for those who want to relive the iconic battles between Goku and King Piccolo. The game is enjoyable for a few hours, but the repetition of stages and the lack of deeper exploration can make it feel a little bit dated. The graphics and sound are effective, and this does capture the spirit of Dragon Ball to a T. And this is going to be it, my friends. This is Justin from Otaku.geeks.com. If you played this game, what did you think about it? What is your favorite Dragon Ball game, or Dragon Ball Z game, or Dragon Ball GT game? Or hell, what's your favorite Dragon Ball game in general? Comment below, let me know. We'll discuss it in the comment section. If you like what we do here, hopefully we earn your subscription. If we did, please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell. Helps out the channel and the algorithm tremendously. Peace and love and happiness to you all. I'll be back with more Annie Gaming next week. Later days.